welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel, guys, to Barca's second pre-season match. And this right here, it's the real Catalan derby. It's Barcelona against Girona, live from Estadi Johan Cruyff. And in today's video, once again, we're going to be talking about what to keep an eye on and what to expect from Ronald Koeman's men in this game. Hopefully, the preparation can continue, and hopefully, again, we'll have a much better idea of what to expect, plus an important update on the motion of no confidence. Let's just do it. Kickoff will be coming to us, like I say, from the Barcelona B Stadium, Estadi Johan Cruyff. That there on Wednesday at 7 p.m. local time. And here, guys, are the times right around the world where you are, so you can get involved in this second pre-season game for us. And once again, you can watch the game on Barça TV+. But also, you can join me on the Flick chat, where again, I'll be posting some links in the chat so you can watch the game and also get involved in the live action as it all happens. I'll be joining you guys there, and that should be some really good fun once again, because like I say, this right here against Girona, it is going to be a step up in quality. We faced, of course, Nastic in the first. They were a Segunda B side in the third division. Girona was so close to getting promoted in the season just gone back to La Liga, and it's a real shame actually they didn't get promoted again, because I personally really enjoyed our games against Girona a few seasons ago. Like I say, I do feel as though they're much more of a Catalan type of team, a much nicer team in general to Espanyol, and it would have been great to see them back in La Liga. But like I say, they may well be a Segunda team right now in that second division, but they will test us a lot more in this game, and that's a good thing, because ahead of that new season, we need this kind of preparation. We need now to step it up. I personally want to see in this game our defence tested. I want to see Girona going at us and really putting pressure on that back four to basically see if we can stand up to it. Even against Nastic, of course, we conceded a goal. We couldn't keep a clean sheet in that game. Will we keep a clean sheet in this one? We're going to have to wait and see. And likewise, at the other end of the field, I want to see Girona here actually defending well against us, because I want to see here how Ronald Koeman's side can break teams down, how they can problem solve out in the field, how the 4-2-3-1 can work against different sort of setups there from our opposition. And I think in this kind of game, it is going to give us a lot more information, a lot more knowledge about what we can expect from Koeman's team. One player, though, that I am looking forward to once again seeing in this game is actually Riqui Puig, because although Pedri and Trincao, in terms of the young talents, they were the players against Nastic who took most of the limelight, most of the praise, and rightly so. We've spoken about how good they were in that game, and I'm excited to see them too, of course. But in terms of Riqui Puig, I feel as though his performance actually went a bit under the radar, because in the second half, I thought he played really well. It was a position that he hadn't ever played in before, very deep there in midfield, in the two, of course, in that 4-2-3-1, and I think that's a big positive for him, because under Koeman, he's either going to have to play there in that deeper role or as that sort of advanced midfielder in that number 10. And I think this season, in order there for Riqui Puig to get the maximum amount of minutes possible, and that's what we want to see him playing as often as he possibly can. Ideally, he'll want to be able to play in both roles. We know that he can play a bit more advanced. We didn't really know if he could play in a more defensive, deeper role, but he played really well against Nastic, and if he can continue that, very good signs, and it should mean that he'll get more game time. That's what we want. Another interesting aspect there, again relating to that setup in that 4-2-3-1, I think it's going to be really interesting to observe once again the position of Lionel Messi in this game. Because against Nastic, it was interesting there that Pedri was actually told by Ronald Koeman to line up there in that number 10 role. He was actually supposed to be the central player, but as we saw during the game, Messi came off that right-hand side, he was playing more central, he was sort of interchanging there in that position with Pedri, who was then going out to the right-hand side with Messi playing much more centrally. But I think that's really important there. No matter who's going to play there in the 10 or play out wide, whatever happens, when Messi comes in, you need that player to then go out wide. You need to have that width at all times. And I think that's really important when you're looking at the structure of this team. Because you remember last season, when Messi was starting out on that right-hand side, every single game pretty much, he was coming in field. He was coming there to play behind the centre forward in a central position. And every single time, that wing, it was completely vacated. There was so much space out there, so much room, but we had no threat. We had absolutely no outlets and no width on that side, and suddenly our team was unbalanced as a result. I think now, in this 4-2-3-1, if Messi does come inside, if he does play that central role, we always need to have those two wingers either side holding their width consistently to give us that balance and ultimately give us as many threats as possible out on the field. Definitely for me, another area to keep a very, very close eye on. It's all about that centre-forward position in a number of different ways. Because first of all, when it comes there to Antoine Griezmann, he was a player against Nastic in those first 45 minutes. I didn't really feel as though we saw much of Griezmann. He didn't get too involved there in behind. He didn't get too involved there in the build-up. So I'd like to see Griezmann there getting a few more touches on the ball. Although he did, to be fair, stick away his penalty very, very nicely. It was a good goal that he scored, and that should, of course, give him some confidence. But I do mention Griezmann there because obviously in the media right now we are hearing that shortly he could have some really serious competition in that area, because Dutch outlet Telegraph have reported there that the deal to take Memphis Depay to Barcelona, they say it's done. They say it is a done deal, it's completed, it will happen, with a €30 million transfer fee set to be paid and agreed there with Lyon, as we know now. For quite some time, personal terms on that deal have all been agreed. What I do want to say though on that report, because obviously now it does seem as though Depay getting closer and closer to Barcelona, but for me right now, I still maintain that while Suárez is here, whilst his future there, still, as we discussed yesterday, while it's not been resolved, I just can't see the deal happening. I just don't see right now us being able, number one, to afford to bring Depay in, and number two, it just doesn't make a lot of sense right now. I think Depay wants to come, I think Lyon would sell for 30 million, and I think Koeman does want Depay, and that's all fine, but with Suárez still here, it just can't work. With Suárez's wages still on the wage bill at Barcelona, with him still occupying some sort of role in this team, I don't think you can afford there to bring Depay in on top of that, and that's why for me, this deal won't happen yet. I think if it does happen, if Suárez goes, then I can fully understand it and I can fully back it, but if he's still here, it's still not there yet for me. However, one of the biggest things that we certainly have to keep an eye on actually comes right now away from the field, away from all of the football-related stuff, because of course, a big update today on the motion of no confidence, which is currently going on and has been now for several days. We are trying to get Bartomeu and the board out of power. The first stage has been going on, and now it has been confirmed that with 48 hours to go, the total signatures stand right now at 12,700 signatures who signed there against the current board, which means that right now, in order to achieve the tally which would take us there onto the second and final stage of the motion, you need 16,521 signatures, which means that in the final 48 hours, we will need just under 4,000 signatures, which may seem like a tall order, but in these final 48 hours, plenty can happen. They're out there right now, really trying to gather some interest, really trying to get the signatures down on paper, and still, there is hope that we can get past that first stage, which would then lead to a referendum being called where Bartomeu could be voted out. So that right now, guys, is where we stand ahead of Barcelona versus Girona. Like I say, certainly in this game, we should be looking to learn a lot more about Ronald Koeman wants to bring. And also, it's going to be interesting, of course, about Luis Suárez. Will he be involved? Will he actually make the squad list? Will there be any change from Barcelona? Or will they stand firm and say, look, just as we discussed yesterday, if you don't want to leave, if you're refusing to go, that's fine. But you will not play. All will be revealed tomorrow, and hopefully another good result and another good performance for this team as we move towards that brand new season. I will see you soon, of course after the game, with all of the reaction. Thank you for watching, and until next time, Visca el Barça.